Grand Rise in Israel. Shalom. Coming to y'all today. Just nothing special going on. Like I say, not focusing on what's going on in this world. I'm currently in New Mexico, and they not playing out here. These the tribe of Gad, the Native Indians. Their governor got some kind of restriction on going on out here with social distance. She shut the whole state down, particularly coming through Gallup. And they got signs on the highway marquees. No vehicles are to be traveling with more than 2 occupants. And I believe they closed the whole state and city, whereas you can only come through there fueling, but there's no sightseeing, there's no visiting family and all that other stuff. And it's Gad don't trust these Edomites, this nation, from what they had to deal with the smallpox situation, giving them people smallpox. They got a remnant of a clue of what's going on and what not to trust of these nations, so they got a lot of reservations out here, and they ain't trusting Esau for nothing, so they shutting down everything. I went this morning to go get a cup of coffee. You can't go inside the stores. I think they're not allowing more than 6 people in the store at a time. And as I'm walking to the store, I'm walking in front of a big glass window heading toward the door. And there was a couple of clerks inside and security. And they all fixed their eyes on me. As I was walking towards the store, I got my mask in my pocket on my side of my shoulders. I wasn't going to start putting on my mask till I started going through the door. But they had all their eyes fixed on me and gathered at the door to greet me like you ain't coming in here without no mask. And so I grabbed my mask out, started putting it on, and they everybody got a sigh of relief. But it's amazing, man, just to be living in these times, witnessing the Most High's power and seeing what's going on. People trying to, rationalize what's going on, and got some hope that things go back normal. Look, man, y'all, we're at a standstill. This is the drop on the slope right now. And it's amazing that I'm seeing our brothers that's within Israel that's attached to this Christian doctrine of a Christ. Just throwing this in the understanding too, because it's separating our people. You're not bringing the little orphan Jesus along to the kingdom. The Most High wants all His glory. He would not create another God, being a jealous God, for you to envy or to go through to get to Him. So I'm bringing this up because I'm seeing how He's dividing us even amongst Israel. I'm at a pickup in Texas one time, a couple of months back, and I'm just reflecting on this. So I'm in there at the dock, and standing by the back of my trailer on the inside of the warehouse. And this other brother, he Israel too. He sees my fringes, so he walks over, greets, "Shalom, brother." "Shalom." I said, "Shalom, brother." So we chopping it up. Ignore. Had a call coming in. So we had been chopping it up 3-5 minutes, man, and the brother says, "Yeah, brother, you see I got my fringes on too." He had tassels on his fringes. Tassels, 4 fringes on the 4 corners, 2 in the front, 2 in the back. And he starts quoting the scripture, stating how we're supposed to wear our scriptures. Our fringes. And I'm just looking at the brother, So I let him finish, and I say, I appreciate your, concern and everything, and trying to correct the matter and everything. But brother, how I wear my fringes isn't going to keep me out of the kingdom. The fact that I got on my fringes is all should be recognized. Now going to what you're saying about the scriptures, I said, did not the Most High say, he shall scatter the Israelites to all four corners of the earth? So you trying to tell me that only Israelites are only in all four of those corners, scattered to all four corners, all over? That's a figurative statement. So when you see me with my fringes covering the four corners and all around the bottom of my garments, all four corners are covered. They're all about. I'm saying that to say, I'm seeing this is where a lot of our brothers go off in this truth, using what they know and knowledge to use it as some kind of, I know what you don't know, or you're not doing this lawful, trying to correct someone else. That brings me into another thing I witnessed of 26. These brothers were street preaching one time, and this Hispanic lady walked by, and she's standing there listening to him. And 26. And one of the brothers tell her, "You know you Israel, right, sister?" And she said, "Yeah, I know." And he says, "So why are you? How long you been knowing you Israel?" She said, "I've been knowing about 2 years." He said, "So can I ask you why you don't have on a dress? Why you have on pants?" And, just belittling her. And see, this is how you walk people away from the truth when you practicing teaching or preaching with the spirit of religion. This is not a law or a religion. These are laws and commandments. And one must get them as they're comfortable with it. This is probably why for 2 years she hasn't been practicing or following, because you're approaching her with the mannerism of a person under religion. Shaming someone, which isn't making them comfortable to gravitate toward their understanding. You share with them the understanding, and that too being a doctrine or understanding of Christianity. That understanding about a dress, yes, it's how you say, it's a proper attire for a woman. But if you notice that I'm not trying to teach anybody or shame or correct anyone. I'm simply sharing and letting you understand that a lot of stuff they introduce to us is of a Christian understanding, same as a woman covering her head. A woman's power and glory is her hair. Now, let me say this to let you understand. There's nothing wrong with covering your hair or wearing a dress. But you shouldn't have to be belittled or shamed to do so. Now, if you're wearing pants, even a dress, hugging the figure of your body in the attempts to tempt and entice of this world, you could do that in a dress or in pants. So, back to what I'm saying. Don't get caught up in so much of, how you say it, regulating laws to belittle people and everything. We have to embrace our people and work with them that they get it and they walk in their time. You running people off. You running our own people off with this shaming and flexion of power and authority as religion does. This is not a religion. This is an owner's manual and a handbook for special people. Now, this ain't to say for people to take this and present this to whatever congregation they with. They got other issues to be, for you to say you understand this is not to be the proper conduct of it for you to go challenge your gathering and everything. I'm not trying to send ripples up in nobody's congregation or anything like that. I'm just saying use common sense and discretion for understanding what you're being taught. Let me get off that subject, man. Like I say, we got enough issues going on. We don't need to be battling amongst each other. Things that's going to keep you from the kingdom is not understanding the laws. One of the laws is we shall not have any other strange gods among us. So that goes into when I'm sharing and telling people about there's no Jesus. The laws pertaining to dress code, food and everything, you got common sense of what food's not to eat. Your dress attire, use your own discretion on how you feel about that. If you in a congregation and you know when to wear pants, or if you feel comfortable wearing pants, going out running errands and everything, do as you feel within your spirit. If you feel like you need to be more obedient, then wear dresses. Don't wear pants in attempt just to be rebellious. So back to what I'm saying. I'm about to take a quick break. I had another brother of mine reach out to me today, and he was admiring the fringes and all that. And he said, "Man, how can I get some?" So I connected him with the Connect, and all praise to the Most High. You know that he seeking the Most High. Yes. So I had a cousin of mine called me yesterday from I hope it don't get too hot in here. It's only 78 degrees. From California, Oakland, and he's like, "Yeah, man, it's going down over here." This is my same cousin that I talked to. He a worldly cat, you know, and he tells me, turn that off. He tells me, "Yeah, man, you heard what went down out here, man. They shot a federal agent, man. 2 of them yesterday, and one of them, they shot him in the head or something like that, but he did." And then I got a partner also from the little rap circle when I used to be in the rap game. He living up in Seattle. He doing footage live on his Facebook. They out there doing their thing out there in the streets in the worldly fashion. Then I got family in Chicago. They posting such. They shut down downtown Chicago. They out there flipping over buildings and vandalizing and everything. It's total chaos out here. Then I got people in Florida talking about what they doing out there, and you know, I ain't gonna say this is the new norm. This is prophetic. That's what I'm gonna say. The worldly understanding that this is a spooky, possible new norm. It is. It's all of that. You're witnessing the power of the Most High. I'm wishing that my people wake up. And anytime I talk to somebody, matter of fact, my good partner Rob called me not too long ago, about 2 hours ago. That's who was just calling back. I'm gonna call him after this video. Was talking about all this stuff. He fed up. He's like, man, he in Chicago. He said, man, I'm so tired of this, seeing all these white folks' excuses, man, and all they want to look at is all the destruction and that's going on. Now everybody mad and want that to stop it. And, you know, I said, hey, man, that's a worldly understanding, man. I said, it keep coming up in conversation. I don't want to sound like I'm beating a dead horse when I'm talking, but man, this is the power of the Most High. These are the end times. This is what's going on. This is the big picture. There ain't nothing going on, you know, to correct this. And he brought up the fact about the brother that got shot by the cop 17 times in Chicago, and he got a light sentence, like double digits of numbers, like 11 or 14 years, plus with time served. So knock off the time that he had already been held in incarceration, in incarceration till his trial, which was like 4 years. That knocked off some of that time. Then he gonna get time off for good behavior. So he gonna do about 4 or 6 in protective custody. The brother, Botham Shem, middle name Shem, S-H-E-M, ironically that he's a Shemite of the seed of Shem, not Semitic. Those people aren't Semitic. They can call themselves Semitic, but the proper name is Shem. It's named after the 3 sons of Noah, being Shem is the seed that spawned us, the Israelites. They're claiming to be us. Semitic people are claiming to be us. They're not Semitic. They're definitely not Shemitic. So when they say something about anti-Semite, there's no such word or understanding or people of Semite. They're claiming to be Shemite, the seeds of Shem. And the closest they can be to Shemites is if they're claiming to be Esau, which is our brother born in the womb of Jacob, his sons. So that's the most truth coming out of that. Going back to talking about these shootings, the brother Shem got shot. Amber Geiger, she got a light sentence. These are slaps on the wrist. Like I say, the Most High is giving them a resume that you can witness for when that rope comes. He giving them enough rope to hang themselves. He's showing you they ain't worth nothing. They'll do everything that he said of the book of Obadiah, what he's going to do to them. And let me see if I can get that since I'm on that. So, then you look at the black woman in, I think it was Atlanta or Georgia. She was dealing with a ex of hers that was threatening her. She legally owned a gun. She goes outside because he came to her property, and she's in the world. You ain't protected in this world. And she fired a shot in the air to scare him off. He had been abusive to her. She gets 20 years. They keep moving the goalposts for you folks that's still in this world. So, for all that's not understanding, let me go to my history. Pause this. This is the video. I'm going to see if I can. I'm going to just let you see the Ethiopian lady that was on my page mocking. This is the video that she got posted on her page. Now look how they mocking us as a people. Look at the title. I know it's reading backwards because I got my screen like that, but it got Steve Harvey and Kevin Hart, looking like buffoons. And I'm gonna read that because I see it's backwards right now. They claiming to be the real Israelites, these Ethiopians. The title of her video is called Hebrew Real Israelites. Hamite, Black Americans. That's what she titled that video. Just to,
What's your favorite family tradition? To drive to that familiar beach house?
Buffoonery, man, going on. Bear with me, I want to get this video. So, and for those Edomites of this world that's mocking us, going into, like I say, the ones with supposedly a kind heart, saying, I don't agree with the black gentleman that lost his life. But I don't agree with this this rioting and everything. People, property, personal property have nothing to do with it. Yeah, you're mighty upset about that, but like I say, you ain't came to collectively with the same anger to speak out about Trayvon Martin. All the ones before this have been victimized and killed. That's your resume. You're in the same boat as them. So take a look at this. This is what God says.
The vision of Obadiah. Thus saith the Lord God concerning Edom.
We have heard a rumor from the Lord, and an ambassador is sent among the heathen.
Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle.
Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen, thou art greatly despised. The pride of thine heart hath deceived thee. Thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, Who shall bring me down to the ground? Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord. If thieves came to thee, if robbers by night, how art thou cut off? Would they not have stolen till they had enough? If the grape gatherers came to thee, would they not leave some grapes? How are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee, and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him. Shall I not in that day, saith the Lord, even destroy the wise men out of Edom, and understanding out of the mount of Esau? And thy mighty men, O Timon, shall be dismayed to the end that every one of the mount of Esau may be cut off by slaughter. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. In the day that thou stoodest on the other side, in the day that the strangers carried away captive his forces, and foreigners entered into his gates, and cast lots upon Jerusalem, even thou wast as one of them. But thou shouldest not have looked on the day of thy brother in the day that he became a stranger. Neither shouldest thou have rejoiced over the children of Judah in the day of their destruction. Neither shouldest thou have spoken proudly in the day of distress. Thou shouldest not have entered into the gate of my people in the day of their calamity. Yea, thou shouldest not have looked on their affliction in the day of their calamity, nor have laid hands on their substance in the day of their calamity. Neither shouldest thou have stood in the crossway, to cut off those of his that did escape. Neither shouldest thou have delivered up those of his that did remain in the day of distress. For the day of the Lord is near upon all the heathen. As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thine own head. For as ye have drunk upon my holy mountain, so shall all the heathen drink continually. Yea, they shall drink, and they shall swallow down, and they shall be as though they had not been. But upon Mount Zion shall be deliverance, and there shall be holiness, and the house of Jacob shall possess their possessions. And the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble, and they shall kindle in them and devour them. And there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for the Lord hath spoken it.
Okay. Now, I'm sharing that to say this. There's some out there saying Esau is not the white man, that he's a... because they don't want to understand the power of the Most High to put a white child as our twin in the womb with us. And I say this to you, okay? He said he created Jacob and Esau. For Jacob is the beginning of the world and Esau is the end of the world. How's that pertain to a, let's say, albino or a light-skinned brother? What you just seen wrote how he's going to destroy them off the face of the earth. What group of black, light-skinned, albino people are so powerful that lived in the cleft of the rocks that the Most High is going to destroy them for what they've done to their brother Jacob, the house of Israel? You see what they've done to Puerto Ricans, the tribe of Ephraim, when they just had that hurricane over there. Trump won't even get them no kind of compensation to rebuild Puerto Rico as if they're not a part of here. Their history, what they did with Gad, the native Indians, giving them smallpox and blankets. The Hispanics, the Mexicans, children being taken from them and put into cages. They're building a resume. These are all the children of Israel. He also said that he would make one of Jacob and Esau stronger than the other. When Jacob and Esau were born, Esau came out first. He was the older brother, and Jacob came out holding his heel. Symbolic, showing that Esau was first in this world, and at the end, Jacob will be the ruler put back into power. This is showing you God's power. He knows everything. He knew because he wrote this as a script, as a movie, whatever you want to call it. And this goes into the understanding how people say, how could God be so evil to do this? You have the intelligence to make a choice to be a part of the remnant, to get it or ignore it and be part of that fall to the wayside because you choose to ignore what you're hearing, what you're seeing, what you're witnessing, and to continue following fools. Esau, they say, is not, some of them, even the Israelites, that this is an albino. I mean, like I say, what group of albinos are putting weaponry in space, as you just seen depict? He's going to bring all their technology to a halt. What group of Negroes, albinos, mixed breed, light-skinned brothers are going to be destroyed off the face of the earth? So, nevertheless, believing who Esau is isn't going to let you make it to the kingdom. If you can't see who Esau is by their attributes and their actions as we're living now, who's getting destroyed at the end of times? Obama is not the light-skinned brother they were talking about. Obama is a Hamite. He was used as a token because we all fooled thinking that we're all the same, that he's just like us and he was our so-called leader. They used us to keep us stuck on stupid and ignorance and following this world with some kind of hope. Obama is complicit. Ignore. And so ignore. If you can't use your common sense and your discretion to see this, you know what I'm saying? If you want to doubt the power of the Most High, nevertheless, believing that or understanding that ain't going to get you into the kingdom or not. Keeping the laws and commandments, as the Most High says, the only way to love him is to keep his laws. Like I said, one of the first commandments is of those laws is to have no strange or foreign gods among you. You need to send little Jesus on his way. Yahweh Shai, whatever. I'm having a conversation with somebody who keeps going into this Jesus, and it's a female, came on the comment. We going back and forth, and I'm not trying to convince her, but she had questions. You know, she was telling me that she came over here because she learned of what I was sharing through Rap the News, and she decided to come over here because I seemed more humble. And I said, well, hey, I welcome you and everything, but I'm not a teacher if you're looking for somebody to lead you. I'm here getting the milk like everybody, but welcome. She's evidently looking to be led, and you know I can see it in her spirit. So she started asking me questions why I don't accept Yahweh Shai, and she started sending me scriptures out of the New Testament and even some of the Old that could have been injected, or they weren't descriptive of who they were speaking about. But one she particularly sent to me, it was speaking about King David. The Most High said he was going to be sending a star or a light to us that will rule over forever. That was speaking of King David. So she was shown this, and yet she's trying to use it to, why she's trying to convince me, I don't know. So I told her, look, I'm not buying none of that. You know, if that's your belief, you know, she's trying to get confirmation or understanding why I don't accept the Most High had a son. And I said, look, if you don't get it, you don't get it. You know, I mean, welcome here, you know, but I'm not trying to convince you. If you don't get it, it must be for you. So she starts telling me that Jesus was sent for the whole world. Yahweh was sent only to the lost sheep of Israel. Okay. So you're telling me two different people were put on a cross and killed, put in a tomb, and rose on Sunday? Were there two crime scenes? Whose letters were Paul to or about? All the things that's attached to Jesus is attached to the understanding of Yahweh that they used in it. These Hebrews is preaching this Christian doctrine. It's the same deity. So what are you talking about? What supports that was Yahweh? Letters from Paul? Do you notice Satan tries to be like the Most High? With the Old Testament, you understand who his people are, who his chosen people are. With the New Testament, his new people don't matter no more. Gonna save the world. But they say, no, Yahweh says he came for to lead the lost sheep only. Okay. Did Yahweh have 12 disciples just like Jesus? Why is it that in the Old Testament you understand and know who God's people are and there's 12 tribes of Israel, but with the New Testament you get 12 disciples and no more God's people or the tribes? It's all attached to the deity that you welcoming. So miss me with it, and we ended it on that, whether she's viewing this video or not, that this ain't to hurt you. I've tried to share with you. I'm not a teacher. I'm a student in the class like you, and I'm raising my hand and I'm asking those that's teaching us these valid questions, and you're a student just like me, and you're getting mad at me for approaching the teacher this teaching us stuff that don't add up. The Most High is not the author of confusion, and I'm asking about questions that are confusing, and you telling me why? Hey, well, what the teacher is saying is this is. No, you be quiet. We're learning together. You should be asking these questions too. You're being deceived. This is what's going to keep you out of the kingdom. You should be concerned about that. I'm not taking little baby Jesus nowhere. That's a ritual. That's a pagan ritual to understand that we're supposed to start praising the dead, somebody that rose from the dead, to get to the Most High, the God of the living. With that, I'm gonna say that's just that. And like I said, I'm betting all my chips on the Most High. I'm not riding with baby Jesus. And if I don't get to the kingdom for that, if I've been fooled for not following confusion and it not making sense to me, then so be it. I applied with what I was given as my ability to use some knowledge. That Jesus, the Yahweh equals the same deity. Like I said, if it ain't two crosses, two crime scenes, y'all talking about the same body, the same dead man. Miss me on that. All praise to the Most High. I am. And with that, y'all stay blessed, Israel. Shalom.